Morning, I am the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to review a sunscreen. I kind of like doing sunscreens, you guys. Sunscreen is so important. No matter how old you are, it is the #1 anti-aging ingredient there is, because most of the aging on your face is due to exposure to the sun. Today I'm taking a look at the Cerave Hydrating SPF 50. Now there's a story behind this because I always have a story, right? I'm gonna need some coffee for this. The birds are tweeting. I bought some chalk at CVS and I'm gonna write some either message or draw some flowers on the sidewalk, so all my neighbors, as they're taking their walks with their family, which you never see happen until now, will get to see some pretty artwork on my driveway as they're walking. I love that idea, but I have to go outside and this is going to protect me. Now, this should have been in my YouTube Made Me Buy It video that I did a little while ago, and it didn't make it for a very good reason, which you will see after I put this on. I had seen Angie talk about this maybe a month ago, and I happened to be at Target the next day or even the same day, and I saw this and I thought, oh, may as well pick it up. I'm always up for another sunscreen. I found another product that very day someone else recommended, and I thought I'll just do a whole thing. Now they didn't have the tinted one, which is what she had, but it says right here, new. So I figured, okay, so this is the white one, and when it's white, we can really see how it's laying on the skin, what it's doing, as opposed to the tinted one, where the tint kind of covers up any patchiness that there might be. So I thought, okay, that'll be my theme. I shot it once and somehow I lost it. Long story, you don't want to hear it. Then I shot it again. I really liked it. I loaded it. I set a date for it. And then the hoodoo came out and I had things that I wanted to do before, so I kept on pushing back my air date. And then the other day I watched her do a video and she said, I'm going to go ahead and do that CeraVe again. And it turns out it was not this product. It was SPF 30. So I can't air something where I say Angie recommended this and mention her several times in the video when in fact this was not the product she recommended. At the same time, I'm here to review things oftentimes, and this deserves a review. You need to know what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time without saying Angie recommended it. She didn't. She recommended the one that is SPF 30. I suggest you get your measuring spoons out. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. It doesn't really look like much, but I did a little experiment maybe 2 years ago where I thought I was doing a 1/4 teaspoon. Like, I knew I needed to do a 1/4 teaspoon. I put some on my finger, basically from my whatever you call this area to here, and I figured that's a 1/4 teaspoon. And then one day I pulled out my teaspoon set and no, it was not. So I took out my teaspoon and I measured my sunscreens for a couple of days, put it in the middle of my hand so I could get a good idea of what a 1/4 teaspoon really looked like. And I'm going to show you. You're going to be surprised what this looks like in your palm. Alright, there's a 1/4 teaspoon. And this I'm going to put on my arm. Now, in the hand. And it's all not going to make it in the hand. That's what a 1/4 teaspoon looks like, you guys. And there's still some left. Try this at home. Try to do this for a couple of days with your different sunscreens, or a couple of days with your one sunscreen, so you get a sense of what a 1/4 teaspoon looks like. Then you know you're covered. I did my microneedling the other day, so I have a lot of redness on my face right now. On what planet is this something you would wear? I'm thinking planet no. Planet no. Now, I'm going to pull you in so you can see how kind of goopy and nicky this is. Look at this. This is awful, you guys. Now, what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to let this just set in, because sometimes things go on a little iffy and after half an hour or so it settles in. And I sat there in the living room and just took my hand and just my finger and just pulled down so everything was kind of even. But this is what happens. You can't get good coverage from sun when moving it just does that. You're going to have uneven coverage. So let's say you're thinking, okay, I'll wear this to the beach, because, you know, who wouldn't? But because I'll accept the fact that it looks horrible on me because I know I'm getting great coverage, you're not necessarily getting great coverage. See, right there? So sometimes I can smooth it out with my finger, and sometimes it has the unwanted effect of just moving. I mean, the question is, really, for CeraVe, do you guys try on your products before you put them on the market? It's not good. It takes a lot of work to even it out. I'm just going to cut away and continue to do this for like 5 more minutes. But you can see that it's not absorbing, it's not self-leveling, and it's not providing even protection. I may as well put some of this left over on my hands. Why not? Now the thing is, if you put it in with your hands and you really work it like this, it's not that bad. But this is something you want to use on your face. I would not rub that hard on my face. All right, so let's just say that there's absolutely no way you want to leave the house like this because you're normal. You're going to have to put on some foundation. I've got 2 products I want to consider for foundation. And initially, I was thinking this would be the one to do because it's thicker. And this is thicker. But then I thought maybe something thinner. Both of these are pretty decent coverage. I don't have anything that is really high coverage. This is the YSL Touche Éclat. I'm going to do it on half my face. And I'm going to use a pump and a half, which I normally wouldn't do. But I'm going to do it with a beauty blender because I usually apply my foundation the same way I apply my sunscreen, with my fingers, and I just don't think that's going to work. Another claim for this is that it's hydrating, and that's a claim I like because I find that chemical sunscreens are much more comfortable than mineral sunscreens. The minerals, by their very nature, are drying. These minerals are. And a lot of companies will formulate their product with oils or emollients or moisturizers to kind of combat that, to counteract it, but it doesn't mean they're successful. So oftentimes you'll get something that feels kind of greasy, but at the same time is drying. For instance, I found that the Ilia foundation, which has a lot of mineral sunscreen in it, was oily and yet tightening. So for me, I just prefer chemical. I'm like the only person on YouTube who does. Everybody else is really into the minerals. I'm just not, man. This isn't bad. You will have to, you know, pull it down your neck, which I don't want to do. I just hate putting too much on my neck because it inevitably will end up on my clothes. Now we're going to do a bite on the other side. And then we'll do a close-up and you can see which is which. The bite is not thin in its nature, and I kind of feel like I should apply it with my fingers and then blend it out. And I'm using a very light hand so I'm not disturbing the sunscreen. And now I'll go over with the beauty blender. You definitely want to get that hairline. And again, I'm just not going to spend too much time on the neck. Now, what's it look like? I don't think it looks that great, you guys. I mean, I could get away with it, but would I wear this? I would get away with it, you know, if I'm working in the garden or going for a walk. If I was going to be amongst humans, I don't think so. So this foundation would, 1, take a lot of time to get your foundation on. 2, still doesn't look all that hot. 3, I don't find it drying. I will give it that. So that's a good thing. But I am not in love with what I'm seeing here. Let me pull you in so you can get a better idea of what is going on. And I think I got some in my eye too. Yay. All right, there you have it. This is the side with the bite. This is the side with the YSL. I mean, the color difference is something, and I probably don't have the same amount of foundation on this side of my face as this side. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the bite. So the forehead is where I have the most redness from my microneedling, and I can still see that redness come through. But if I look on the bottom quarters, well, this quarter and this quarter, I think it looks nice on both sides. I can't say I see a difference, but I might when I put this into the computer. And I wanted to share a little trick with you if you have moles like I do. When you're putting on this kind of sunscreen and a lot or high coverage foundation, your moles still show, but there's makeup on them. It just is kind of a giveaway. You're wearing a lot of makeup. It helps to take it off. So I just take the Muji again, to the best of my ability, take the foundation off the moles. Alright you guys, that is it for me. I hope I've given you an idea of what this looks like on the skin, how it performs, how you can wear makeup over it. Is it comfortable? It's not uncomfortable. I have worn things that are far more uncomfortable. Does it feel moisturizing? Is there an oiliness to it or an emollient nature to it? No, it feels a lot like Elmer glue, and if that's something you don't want to have on your face, you're probably not going to. I will say under the eyes, I do not like this at all. My under eyes look even worse than usual, which is really saying something. And that's it for me. This will be an NO. It's worth noting there are 3 ceramides in here. There are 5 ceramides in total, so they only have 3. And there's niacinamide in here. Not bad. Probably not huge levels. They are saying that this is lightweight and a non-greasy feel. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's lightweight. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I like a lot of products from this brand. I do not like their sunscreens. I've tried several of them, and I think that will be the last one that I try. That's going to wrap it up for me and Cerave. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand how a company could put this on the market. And I don't mean to be a bitch. I'm just being an advocate for people. Maybe they just put it on the hands and say, yeah, this will work. But to me, you know, if I had a company, I wouldn't put it out unless it didn't feel like this, you know? There's got to be a way to get it done without this weird stickiness and whiteness. And this ain't it. And by the way, this is for face. And that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Be smart, be safe. Until we meet again, I wish you good health.